Scott Holliday here, and welcome back to Plus 2 Wrestling. Before we get started, a big thank you goes out to the fine people in EWW, the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire. I actually got word from them that they did a live watch-along of my video where I critiqued the English World Wrestling that they do at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire, and I got 2 big thumbs up from them. So one, I'm taking that to mean that they accept my apology for chanting, "You messed up." That is the thing that haunts me, and now I can cleanse my soul of that. And 2, I appreciate that they found the video and enjoyed it. I will definitely be going back to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire to see what they got cooked up this year, and hopefully get an equestrian t-shirt. Also, number 2, big announcement here. I have created the Far Too Big year-long You Pick 'em. It is an attempt for you at home to try to predict everything that will happen in the world of wrestling from the Raw after Mania all the way through to WrestleMania 40. It's like 300 some questions long. And it's up to you to predict what will be happening in the WWE, in NXT, in AEW, in various indie promotions. It is up to you to predict the future. And it's not really a contest, so there's not official rules, but personally, I think the winner who gets the most points deserves something, so I personally will be donating, because this is not a contest, but I will personally donate to the person who gets the most points a year's subscription to whatever wrestling service they want. Sound fun? Sign up in the link down below, fill out your ballot, and I will give updates throughout the year on who has the most points in the Far Too Big year-long You Pick 'em. And now, let's plug in. Saturday, March 18th, it is High Tension Wrestling Spring Breakdown 93. So break out your best 90s gear and join us at Penn's Landing Caterers. That is 1301 South Christopher Columbus Boulevard in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where you will see Rob Racky of the Goons taking on Miles Millennium of the Goons. The Goons have been on a clean sweep here in High Tension Wrestling, winning every match they're involved in, even if it's against each other. We saw at Christmas Trios as Killian took on Rob Racky, and they agreed at the end of it they would let it all go and leave it in the ring. But apparently Miles Millennium had completely different ideas on his mind when he nearly kicked the head off the shoulders of Rob Racky. So they are going to settle it in the ring at Spring Breakdown 93, and we'll see if they can leave it all in the ring when it's all over. Also, I'm happy to announce a brand new 5-way scramble for a very special and very secret prize. In this matchup, you will see the debuting Rocket along with The Whisper, Mach 10, The Spoiler, and Ziggy Haim also making their debut here in High Tension Wrestling. All 5 of these competitors are looking to win that special prize, but there's also some bad blood brewing as The Whisper and Mach 10 were on the same team at Christmas Trios, competing as Silent Flight, but not quite on the same page were these two, so they are looking to settle the score in this matchup. But they got to keep their head on a swivel with 3 other competitors in this match looking for that prize. Let's just say, I hope the Spoiler loses. You will see the Outfielders defend the Campeonatos de Rana against Ethan Wild, LLC.
Its tragic end.
Dr. Wild is in possession of all of the
Well, when you write the rules, you know them very well. Also at Spring Breakdown, we have these newly announced matches. We saw the trio of Mr. Crummels, Defarge, and Brian Ace at Christmas Trios, and they couldn't quite stay on the same page. Trainer Defarge does not believe that Brian Ace is ready to step in between those ropes, and yet they're gonna try it again as the trio of Mr. Crummels, Defarge, and Brian Ace takes on King Crab, Al De Niro, and Junie Underwood. Also at Christmas Trios, we saw the high-tension debut of Riley Crow, who made quite the impact, picking up a big victory. But now, she will face off against Harleen Lopez. See these matches along with Mike Skyros defending the high-tension television title against Edith Surreal. Jet Jagori taking on Tommy Vex for the #1 contendership. And Mr. 500, Big Dust, taking on Mr. 499, Stan Styles. Be sure to join us March 18th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Get your tickets right now. Don't wait. Get them right now in the links down below. At Limelight, we crowned new CZW Tag Team Champions, and these 8 competitors put their bodies through hell, but in the end, able to ascend the ladder and crown themselves the new CZW Tag Team Champions. It was Boom Harden, Deshaun Pratt, CMD. Finally proving that they do in fact run this. I don't say that word. That's just not in. That's not who I am. In any case, who will be the first to challenge the new champion CMD? Well, the first step is at CZW Live, Sunday, March 19th at Studio Z in Blackwood, New Jersey. Be sure to join us there. So today on the Soapbox, I got a question for you. How long do you think old Scott Holiday has been in the wrestling business? Go ahead and throw it in the comments. I'd love to see your guess. Just guess. Pause here and then guess. All right, are you back? March will mark my 15-year anniversary in the world of professional wrestling. I started with a little-known company called Awesome Pro Wrestling. The intro should be playing right now. I can't play the full thing because it used copyrighted music because it was 15 years ago and we were stupid. But I met someone who owned a wrestling company and they needed someone to talk about their wrestling company, and I kind of just fell into this job. I went by the name TV's Noah, which is a stupid name. It's a really stupid name. I'm glad I changed it to my real name, which is Scott Holiday, which is my real name. But under the name TV's Noah, I was the new host of Totally Awesome Wrestling. And as you can see here, we had $0. This was set up in the lobby of my college theater. We had no lights, if you couldn't guess from that. We had no lights, we had no microphones, we had a backdrop, which was too small, so you can see all the stuff in the theater lobby behind me. The only thing we had was a really crappy monitor that didn't work, but it was very important to us that that was on the table. And it was my job to just kind of recap things that happened and throw to videos that would play on the YouTube channel. So this is the first thing I ever did in the world of professional wrestling. Enjoy. Welcome, wrestling fans, to Totally Awesome Wrestling, your source for all the news going on in awesome pro wrestling. I am TV's Noah, and we are talking about the big event Saturday, April 5th at 7:30 in Seaside Heights, American Legion Post 351. It is the big show where Francis will be defending his title for the first time against the amazing Jay Blaze. Francis, as we know, became the champion recently, defeating the ECW legend. Some know him as Brother Runt from TNA. Some know him as Spike Dudley. We all know him as the hardcore legend. Let's take a look at this. So I've compressed it over here because that's the way that should be seen. That should be in a very tiny real player on your Dell laptop, your Dell desktop computer right there is how that should be seen. But yes, that was the match that crowned the first ever Awesome Pro Wrestling champion as Spike Dudley lost to Francis. Francis would later change his name to Fala, and eventually Fala Ba. Fala Ba was the first champion of Awesome Pro Wrestling. Now, we'll throw it back to my reaction here. Enjoy this. There you have it. Francis, unbelievable. Kicking out of the acid drop, something unheard of in the world of professional wrestling. I don't know if this man can be stopped. If I was Jay Blaze, I'd be worried. If you'd like to see the whole match, including the entire tournament leading up to crowning our new champion, you can buy the first anniversary DVD on sale soon at AwesomeWrestlingOnline.com. I'm going to play that clip again because I hate this clip. It super bothers me. And let this be good advice to anyone that wants to be a professional wrestling commentator. Take it from this 15-year veteran. If you're going to do commentary, take out your Invisalign first, because it gives you a lisp. There you have it. Francis, unbelievable. Kicking out of the acid drop, something unheard of in the world of professional wrestling. We're now going to fast forward to the second episode of this show, because we did in fact film 3 episodes of this show. And in this one, I am joined by the owner of the company. We didn't say that out loud, but this is the person who owned Awesome Pro Wrestling, Radical Robbie Morrison, the former MySpace champion. Yes, the way the MySpace champion worked is there would be a top 8 battle royal. And to win the top 8 battle royal, you would then move on to take on the MySpace champion. This made a lot of sense 15 years ago. And I'd like to point out that I originally pitched, hey, I don't think MySpace is going to be around really long. I think you should lose this title and then come back with the Facebook title. And Robbie told me that Facebook was a fad. And MySpace was where it was at. Anyway, this is just some fun banter. We also move into the actual theater, so we're in a black box theater because we thought it would make the sound better. It makes the sound so much worse, and despite the fact that there are lights in the sky, we don't turn any of those on. We instead use like a ghost light, and I think the light that was on the camera. So here are some fun little banter between me and the recently former MySpace champion, Radical Robbie Morrison. Welcome, wrestling fans, to another edition of Totally Awesome Wrestling. I am TV's Noah, joined, unfortunately, by Radical Robbie Morrison. I must say, you look like you lost a little weight, like about 8 pounds of silver. You know, that MySpace title thing that you've been bragging about. Well, did you misplace it?
You would bring that up. You saw what happened April 5th. Everyone saw what happened on April 5th. I should still be the champion. Mark Modest cheated. He hit me with a chair. He hit me with a chair, and Commissioner Joe Rules let it happen.
Before we can show that match, we have to go to Jumping Joey Janelle versus Dr. K. Check it out. Yes, that Jumping Joey Janela. Joey Janela was in fact part of Awesome Pro Wrestling as well. It's really interesting going back and seeing all these old videos and seeing like who was here and who vanished off the face of the earth. And I'm not going to show you anymore because I'm embarrassed. But you can check out the annals of Awesome Pro Wrestling by going onto YouTube and checking out Rad Dude 22. Because for some reason we didn't think to call the YouTube channel Awesome Pro Wrestling. Sometimes you make bad mistakes in the past, and they bother you 15 years later. even though you've changed your name back to your real name, Scott Holiday. You look back and think, man, TV's Noah Houlihan is an idiot. Man, he makes bad decisions. In any case, I just wanted to take a brief walk down memory lane. I could show you more, but I'm all out of cringe. And if I cringe anymore, I think I'll just fade into a puddle and fade away. So why don't you share how you got into the world of professional wrestling down in the comments below. And also, while you're down there, make sure you click on the description because you can also buy tickets to High Tension Wrestling Spring Breakdown. You can also enter the Far Too Big year-long You Pick 'em. And you can also subscribe right here to +2 Wrestling, so you'll get a notification next time I drop one of these videos. And I hope you have a great day.